Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Capricorn sun signs, or if you have significant Capricorn placements in your chart and are needing a masculine energy to work with or balance within yourself, then this reading is for you. First of all, Capricorn, happy birthday. I hope will be, very fun and happy and full of love. And I hope that this new year also brings that for you. So Capricorn, let's get started with your reading. We'll start at the bottom of the deck for the decks that I'm using. I'm using quite a bit. But we have here the Change card, Wind, and the Purity Ice card. I feel like this card is really significant for you, this Purity Ice. And then you have here the Movement card and also the Smith, which says overthinking and taking action. Because I feel like there is an action that you're wanting to take, Capricorn, but it feels like you're overthinking it a little bit. With the movement especially, it's like I feel like there is some sort of action, perhaps in regards to a particular relationship, because you have here the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Cups. Sorry, got caught on the Wheel of Fortune because I feel like it's the Wheel of Fortune. Jupiter just went direct, I believe, or is going soon if it hasn't already. I don't know the exact date, but so that could be significant. And also I was getting a significant Sagittarius energy in your reading, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So there's all of that energy happening in your reading. I feel like there is a significant expansion that's happening, but perhaps there is a bit of resistance towards that. And I feel like the reading is going to walk through what that is. So that's the overall context of your reading. We're starting off here. Where should I start? So the first two elemental cards, you have here the Life, Breath, and then the Fire, Ignition. And I feel like this Fire Ignition card is really significant. So you may have a fire placement somewhere in your chart, but it doesn't have to be. I feel like this is just the element that's coming through, especially because you have here like the Purity Ice. And now I'm kind of getting like this energy of like, I've been seeing this a lot where it's like, you know, when the glaciers melt, right? That it kind of like there is this sort of energy of like, well, there may be like organisms or something that are trapped in the ice that get released when the glaciers melt. I feel like it's kind of coming through as being like, for you Capricorn, there's this energy of like being surrounded by some sort of boundary or barrier that has been there for a really long time here with the Endurance Rock, because that's the next card coming out where I feel. So I'm just going to leave that like that. I'll bring them up as I explain some of the other cards. Underneath the Breath and the Fire card, you have here, there's so many cards, Passion and Frustration, and then the Peace card, which is interesting because the way that the colors are coming through is like this sort of like the Life, Breath is coming up with Passion, Frustration, and then the Peace is coming up under the Fire. And I feel like it should be reversed, right? Because of like the colors and also like the elements that are coming through. But so I feel like Capricorn, I was getting so many downloads. There's something about like your physical body that's really important here. I feel like there's something here because the first card you have is the Devil, which of course is the Capricorn card today. The Goat, the greatest of all time. I feel like with this one, this Devil card specifically talks to me about like experiencing physical pain in your body, perhaps something that's been sort of like building for a long time, right? So it has to do with some sort of, it's kind of coming through as being like, with all this fire, right? So fire might not be an element that you're comfortable with, is kind of how it's coming through today. But with it's coming through as like the passion and the frustration, because the next card out you have is the Ace of Wands. This is what the issue is kind of how it's coming through. The passion card is feeling to me like, for you, Capricorn, there may be something that like really excites you or like really makes you feel sort of like this Ace of Wands with the passion, right? It's like it makes your heart race is kind of what was coming through here with the life breath, because there is this heart. And it's kind of like whatever this passionate thing is, this Ace of Wands, I feel like it's kind of like melting some sort of glacier, and within that glacier there's some sort of like organism or something, metaphorically, that is being sort of released. And it's kind of like, I feel like maybe you may be feeling it in your body somehow, because it's kind of coming through as being like something from your past maybe is being stirred up, or there's something here about like because the devil to me talks about patterns. There may be something about like a pattern that you are used to following or used to sort of doing whenever you feel sort of like an Ace of Wands kind of energy, which is coming through today as passion, but it could be a whole range of things. Whatever the fire energy comes through with for you, it feels like, and it's actually coming through as being like related to this endurance rock in sadness, which is interesting, because it feels like to me that like especially with all this water here, because I feel like whatever this boundary is emotional. It feels like an emotional like boundary or like distance with sort of the ice. And it's kind of feeling like there's a pattern from your past, perhaps. Like, it's feeling like really young, but it doesn't have to be. Where it's like, whenever you encounter this sort of energy, it's almost like a protective mechanism that has to do with like sadness or something. Or it's like kind of coming through as being like isolating yourself so that you don't have to deal with this energy. It's kind of like how I'm seeing this is like every time there was some sort of like passionate whatever energy that you came up against, it almost like, because it was uncomfortable, it turned into frustration. And it's kind of like it was diverted through another aspect of your life, right? It's kind of like instead of like acting on this, it was diverted through another aspect of your life that's unrelated. So it's kind of like, but the thing about this though is like why it's gotten to this point is kind of like whatever it was that you were doing to divert this energy, it actually caused like a peaceful outcome is kind of how it's feeling here with the Four of Swords, where it's like, because these cards came out sort of together, right, with the peace. It's like you diverted sort of this fiery energy into some other project, let's say, or whatever, and it caused sort of like, it made you feel peaceful. It like resolved the frustration is kind of how it's coming through. In a way that it, like, because this Four of Swords to me looks like a very like sort of freedom from pain, right? Like release of suffering, that kind of thing. So I feel like that's sort of the energy that's coming through, where it's like you that perhaps might be the pattern, where it's like anytime you feel this sort of passion, Ace of Wands, instead of like acting on it, it gets diverted through a different project or like through a different means than actually what this requires, and then it creates a peaceful energy, right? But it's kind of like, I feel like this pattern has gone on for such a long time that it's actually now like causing pain in some other area of your life, because the fire is not being diverted properly is kind of how it's coming through. Whatever this energy is that you're I'm just going to call it a project or something that inspires you. And anything that you feel very passionate about, it's like, because you're not acting on it, it's actually causing almost like pain somewhere else in your body. It's coming through as being like a short circuit, right? Like, it's like, because a short circuit talks about like if there's no like light bulb, right? If there's no light bulb, or if there's nowhere for the electricity to go, it blows the entire circuit. That's what it's looking to me like in this energy. Okay. And it's all related to sort of like this kind of endurance rock sadness kind of energy, because it's kind of feeling like there's another person, whoever this Two of Cups is. It feels kind of like this person is somebody that you care about, but it's like because it's coming through with sort of like this cross energy, there may be sort of like discomfort in what it is that they're doing, is kind of how it's going through to me. So you have here the Son of Swords. This came out in yesterday's reading as well. It's talking about, so this one I always see as like a messenger, but kind of like a sharp messenger, like whatever it is that they're saying to you perhaps is not an easy message to hear. And it's kind of like, I don't know if this is their intention. It may be, but whatever it is that I don't know what their intention is, but the outcome is that it's disrupting this bubble that you have, is kind of how it's coming through. The way that it's showing up to me is like, this is them. They're acting with a lot of fire, so they could be a fire sign, but it doesn't have to be. Again, this is why I'm saying Sagittarius, because I also see the cheetah as being a Sagittarius energy. Doesn't have to be though. But how I'm seeing this is like when they act, or when they do something, or when they speak, or something like that, it's almost like how I'm seeing this is like the cheetah just like tramples over all of these cups that you have, and the cups are what are protecting you. It's coming through as being like water, right? Like you're surrounded by water, or like the glaciers or whatever, right? It's like you're in sort of this protective place. An emotional boundary is kind of how this is feeling. And it's almost like it's turning all of this water to steam. So it might actually be angering you. What it is that they're saying or doing, it might be causing anger or just like discomfort. It's like melting all of this energy, like it's like whatever's in, I don't want to phrase it like that. It just feels like it feels like breaking down an emotional boundary, right? So it could feel like a trigger. It could feel like they're triggering you in some way because of the energy that they're coming through with. I don't necessarily feel that if it is intentional, it's coming through as being like they're doing it with the best of intentions, because I feel like with the next card coming out, the Eight of Pentacles, this is part of like the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's kind of like this is something where it's like an expansion aspect for you, where it's a place where you're supposed to expand with the Two of Cups, but it's I feel like this is a soulmate of some sort, but it may feel like, especially with the Devil, it's like their purpose in your life is to break some sort of pattern you've been in, and that's a really uncomfortable sort of soulmate to have, is someone who's there to break some sort of pattern that you've been in, right? To me, those are the most valuable soulmates, but it is uncomfortable for sure. The next couple of cards that are coming out here, you have the Five of Swords and the Earthworm. So how I'm seeing this, because you're in the Four of Swords, I feel like this is sort of like an energy of like, what I was hearing with this is kind of like, I can live with this, right? It's like there's some sort of discomfort in your life, and you found some sort of way of like diverting the energy or like dealing with it, like some sort of emotional boundary perhaps. And what I heard was that like, I can deal with this. This is something that you've been perhaps living with for a long time or dealing with or whatever. Something like that, where it's like, because it's peaceful, like at least like there's a way that you find peace in whatever this is. And it's kind of like when this one comes in with what they're saying here with the Son of Swords, it turns the Four of Swords, your peace, into the Five of Swords, where it's like something is being... I see this card as being an argument that causes separation, right? So maybe it is that they're arguing with you, or just whatever it is that they're saying is causing discomfort within yourself about whatever it is. With the Earthworm coming out next, this one came out in reverse. So this card talks to me about, well, especially with the Earthworm, it was reminding me of this experience when I was a child where, like, every time it rained here with the Sadness card, my sisters and I would go outside and there would be a whole bunch of worms on the pavement, and we would take like these egg cartons and fill them with soil and like use our fingers and put the earth, like the worms, into these sort of like egg carton soil things, and we called it like an earthworm hospital. Like that was sort of a thing that we did every time it rained for whatever reason. But then we later learned that like the reason why earthworms come out of the soil when it rains is because they actually can't stay in the soil because they'll drown. So it's actually, we were not actually helping them, is my point. What I feel like is coming through here is that there may be some sort of pattern that you have, Capricorn, of perhaps like something to do with when you're sad is how it's coming through. So like when you're sad, there's some pattern that you do or go through or whatever that is actually perhaps bad for you or maladaptive in some way. It's like it's not actually helping you is kind of how it's feeling. But it's a pattern that you've been in for such a long time that it almost feels like very difficult to change. Or that you might not even know what this is yet. And like this one's trying to help you see that, but it's like it's not. It's kind of just like there may be, because I'm seeing this here, right? This combination of cards where it's like this cheetah is running over all of these glasses, right? Causing all the glasses to break, and then you're having to step through it, and it's causing you pain, right? It's causing you pain to have to step through all of this glass that this one is breaking. But what's coming out next, though, is that I feel like this one here with they're coming out with the Mother of Cups. I feel like they have some sort of emotional, they care for you. They care for you. This is not some random stranger. This is somebody that is a Two of Cups to you, right? They care about you. And I feel like it's like they're trying to get you out of this energy, because this one to me talks about like being isolated and doing everything by yourself, but there's not a lot of resources around you, or there's not a lot of like life. It's kind of just like you, and then that's it. And what I'm seeing here next, because it's coming through with the Mother of Cups and the Eight of Wands, where this Eight of Wands energy feels like it's whatever this is that's coming through is actually something that you've manifested, because it's like 7 out of the 8 wands are already there. This one's just connecting that last wand for you, right? They're bringing in this Ace of Wands that you need in order to complete this cycle, or to complete some sort of manifestation perhaps that you've been working on. And they're coming out here with the Dragonfly, which talks to me about ancient wisdom, but also like soul connections in general. This one is absolutely some sort of soulmate of yours that is coming in to help you break a pattern, but that is extremely uncomfortable, especially if it's something that's like a really long-standing pattern or something like that. And you also have here the Ace of Pentacles and the Fox. So this Fox in this deck talks about partnership. So there is some sort of partnership here with the Ace of Pentacles and a new start. It's just kind of like there's like having to perhaps accept that there's like some sort of pattern or like thing that you're doing that perhaps seems very harmless is kind of how it's coming through. Like it seems harmless, or it doesn't seem like it's like perhaps you're trying to help yourself or others or whatever through whatever actions you're taking, but it actually might be hurting you or hurting another or something like that. It's kind of like an action that you do that you think is very harmless is actually not. It's kind of also coming through here because you have, I didn't even talk about these cards, the Cartographer in reverse, a crossroads and exploration, because the Earthworm talks to me about exploration, especially in terms of like creativity, like doing things for fun or just trying something, even if it's kind of like new and you have to learn from the beginning, that kind of thing. But the Cartographer talks about, like in reverse, it talks about you have so many good ideas, Capricorn, or you have so many like different options to explore, but you haven't taken any of them, is what was coming through in the reading or in the guidebook, where it's like pick one and do something about it, like in a very physical way, like pick some sort of action and follow through with it, because it feels like there are so many good ideas here that you've had, but you haven't taken any of them. It's kind of like it's just continuing to, all of the energy is going into like maintaining this emotional boundary that you have, perhaps, instead of I don't know, like doing something, I don't know, creative. It's like I feel like the outlet for this passionate Ace of Wands energy, the outlet that you're choosing is not the right one. It's like, but you have to go out and see which one it is, because I feel like you have so many options. You have so many options, but it's not being, this energy is not being diverted through the right outlet. So it's causing this like short-circuiting energy, which is perhaps causing pain in your body somehow. Okay, Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great night. Bye.